Hey everyone, tonight we are interviewing Sneaky Squirrel. Hey Sneaky Squirrel, tell us a little bit who you are and what your stream's all about.
Hey y'all, I'm Sneaky Squirrel. I run the Twitch channel Sneaky Squirrel. I'm a variety streamer. I play lots of different things. I got started with Dark Souls a while back, and I just enjoy trying out new games and hanging out with a bunch of cool people. We try to keep it a very relaxed environment in the chat and be friendly with newcomers and regulars alike.
Very cool, very cool. When did you start streaming and how'd you get your name?
I started in late November last year.
Okay.
I got my name because when I play games, I tend to play the sneaky character because I like getting those stealth kills. And squirrels are just they're probably up in the top 3 of my favorite animals. I love me some squirrels.
Very cool. So have you actually seen a squirrel sneak around and play a video game?
Not play a video game, but I have seen them sneak around my yard and eat the birdseed, which is quite adorable.
Fair enough, fair enough. So I'm guessing, why'd you actually start with Dark Souls? That's an RPG game. Is that some of your favorite games to stream, or how'd that all happen?
So what happened is it's kind of a sad story. I lost my job last November, and I was really down. And my buddy had been trying to get me to play Dark Souls 3 for a long time, and he was like, "You should get it, man. We'll play it together. It'll be a great time." And I did, and it was. And so I just fell in love with the game, and I was playing it a lot in between job searching and trying to make a living. And that same friend, he started his own channel, and I got the wild hair to try it out myself. That friend is Sauce. Y'all should go check him out. He's really great. But yeah, that's sort of how I got started, and I've just been adding on little bits and pieces as I go and learning as I go and failing a bunch. It is not a professional operation I'm running here. I try to be, but stuff falls apart every now and then.
No, I think that's great. I think it's kind of incredible how the stories we get to where we're at, because you're over 3,000 views on your channel, right?
Yes, sir.
And you started this up last year, you said?
Yeah. In November.
And look at you now. You're doing this, and you don't really have. I mean, what is your greater vision for this? You don't really have one. You're just playing, or what's up?
So I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't love to turn this into a career. But right now, it's just a hobby, and I do it because I really love it. I didn't realize how much fun I have when I get to meet new people and make new friends, and just try to make people laugh and get people to just sharing some laughs with different people. It's a lot of fun.
And
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go on. After you.
I was gonna say, as far as in the future, I would just like to see the community that I have right now grow. I've got probably 5 or so regular viewers, not every single night for all 5 of them, but I would like to see that community grow and become something a lot into a real community, I guess, just where we can all have a place to go and hang out.
So, I guess if there's a viewer coming in to check you out, what are your streaming times, and how do you actually get your viewers now to build that community up greater? So in a month from now, you get 10, 20, 30. How do you get there?
How do I get there? Well, I start streaming, or at least I try my darndest to start streaming around 7 every night. Sometimes I have to stay late at work or something, or you know, stuff happens and I can't make it. But um, I do my best to stream every day, and whenever someone does come in, we just welcome them and treat them with kindness and listen to what they have to say, and um, just try to treat them like part of the family already.
That's cool. So, what do you do for an actual job? Because I know the work that I do, I want to be able to go and stream. It's too demanding.
Well, actually, I'm working at the Home Depot here. I hate every second of it. I'm gonna be so excited to leave there. I'm going back to school this fall to try to do something that'll. We'll probably get into this a little bit later, but I'm gonna go to school to be a machinist, like operating a lathe and a mill and CNC machines, things like that. Um, but just right now, I'm working on the sales floor. I'm stacking lumber, loading concrete. I just decided, I can't find a job as a programmer, which is what I got out of. So I need to do something to get me out of the house and interacting with other human beings face to face. So I'm just putting my head down and working hard until I can go back to school. Start in August, actually.
Very cool. I guess what got you into being a machinist and welding and doing all these cool things? Why are you doing that now? Or wanting to?
So one of the things that I absolutely love doing is building things, and it doesn't have to be a specific kind of thing. I like art. Like this background is a photo I took, but my dream job is to make props and models, either for film, theater production, or cosplay. Costumes, swords, weapons, like things like that. And all I really have right now that is, you know, applicable to that sort of line of work is that I've got a passion for it. So I decided this is something that I love, and if I become a machinist, I'll have all these new pathways to building really cool and beautiful things for people to use for things that they love. And I just figure that I've got to if I want to take a step in that direction, I got to start somewhere. So that's my idea for going back to school.
No, I think that's great, and honestly, that pumps me up to hear all that. Do you, by any chance, have a portfolio for all your fans to see your? I mean, if you've made sets for like small film projects, do you have a portfolio for those?
No, actually, I've got one very done Army of Two mask replica. That's the only thing that I've actually made that I've considered done and have. Some of the other stuff that I've made when I was younger is lost in time, unfortunately. But I do have some photos that I'm sure people would enjoy looking, or well, might enjoy looking at. And I could put the Army of Two mask in there.
Hey, I would love that, and if you could maybe send me a couple of photos, I'll put this inside the interview for you.
Okay, that'd be great, man. I'll do that.
Yeah, no problem. So if you're gonna go to college or school, I don't what school is it first?
It's Rankin Technical College. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. It's actually 10 or 20 minutes down the road from where I live.
Okay, so if you're gonna go to college, work on that. You're probably gonna build some type of sets for some theater or some films. Are you gonna be able to still have time to Twitch, or do you see yourself twitching more or a little less? How is that gonna affect your schedule?
I'm gonna have to wait and see, I guess. My hope is that since I'm not gonna be working full time anymore, and since school is mostly going to be in class lessons because I don't have these $30,000 machines at my disposal or in my garage. Most of that's going to take place there. So it'll probably be more streaming once school starts. And then afterwards, I hope it would at least be the same as it is now, which is 6 days a week at minimum.
Right, right. And oh man, it just left.
It's okay, man.
Basically, when you brain fart, this is horrible for an interview. But basically, okay, so what this is a question, trying to formulate it. When it's horrible. When did you know this was a dream of yours to actually start being a machinist and doing film sets or
A
prop
machinist
sets?
or props? It didn't really hit me until I lost my job. And it was a job. It was a job as a programmer with a video game company. I'll spare the company, but I worked with them for a long time, and I told myself that I enjoyed it, but it was really not what it appeared to be. It was very fast paced and very demanding. I was learning probably 2 programming languages or frameworks every month, and I only had a minor coming out of my bachelor's degree. I only had a minor in computer science, so I couldn't keep up. I just kind of started falling behind and avoiding studying like I was sort of expected to do because they knew that I came in at a very low level programmer. And I did learn a lot, but probably the most important thing I learned is that making video games it's not at all what people will think it is. There is a lot of aspects of it that are great. Like there's a really relaxed office environment. Everybody's really nice to each other. The bosses were very understanding of situations and things like that. But I'm sure that people have heard of this. It's crunch time. It gets pretty real. But when I lost that job, I was really down about the whole thing, and I was thinking to myself like, I'm never gonna find a job that good again, and like I really blew it, and just being hard on myself. And finally, when I snapped out of it, I guess I realized that I didn't really enjoy any of it. Like it was just hard the whole time, and it wasn't something that I could get lost in and just really pour myself into, if that makes sense. And I started thinking, like, off of that, I was like, well, what is something that I can get lost in? What is something that I can do for hours at a time without saying a word or stopping to check social media or something, like distracting myself, essentially? And the answer to that was building. And not necessarily props, but practical things. Like I built a rain catcher out of bamboo one time.
That's cool.
Just building things that I can use that make my life easier, and I sort of excelled at that, just as a result of how I was raised. And then I started thinking about how I could turn that into a career and combine that with something that I really know that I love, which is video games and film and, just film, I guess. And I said, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to build props, and I want to make replicas of art that other people have made in a 3D or 2D world, and bring that to life for people to enjoy and have and use.
So when you got fired, that was, well, I mean, at that moment, were you like, all right, what am I gonna do with my life?
Oh no, no, not it was not in that moment at all. Um, I was I was kind of I was lost for a while. I mean, I don't want to get too real, but I fell into a pretty serious depression there for a while, and I was doing the classic depression things like isolating myself and staying up all night and sleeping all day, and that I wasn't treating myself in a in any kind of good way. I was just sort of trapped in this like sadness of, oh no, I've lost this, I've lost this career, I've lost this place that I looked up to so much and thought that this was like this could be my career, like this is what I want to do with my life. um, and I was stuck there for a while, and it took. I think I just had to stew in it for a while, to be quite honest. Like I just had to kind of let myself feel it, and eventually, with the help of some friends, and honestly, with the help of my viewers and um, uh, some good counseling, honestly, I, I I sort of got my head back on straight, and I was able to start thinking about what what I can what I can do, and it turned from this dark place of, oh no, I've lost everything, into, well, hey, I've got a sort of a blank canvas here. Like, yeah, it sucks, but I can sort of reinvent what I want to be and what I want to do now. Like I'm in a certain sense free.
Yeah, thanks for getting vulnerable.
Yeah, man.
Seriously, because
That's part of the channel.
it is part of the channel, but that's not an easy story to tell.
No, it's not. But I am glad to tell it, because I know that there's plenty of people out there that deal with depression, and it is, I'm gonna tear up right now talking about it. But I think talking about it like this, I think it's good. I think it's good for me, and I think it's good for people who may be going through a similar situation. It doesn't have to be a job or anything like that, but just general depression. It really does help. It helps me anyways to talk about it, and to, like, it sort of lightens the load. It makes it less, like I said earlier, like it turns it away from this big dark thing. Like if you don't talk about it, it's a scary thing that you don't want to deal with. But if you sort of face it head on and you have dialogues about it, then it makes it, you sort of control it. Like you can, like, talking about it gives you power over it in a certain sense.
Do you think, do you hope when some of your viewers get to see this, because you don't know where your viewers are at, they're depressed or whatnot, do you hope that when they hear this, they'll open up a little bit more? And is there a way that you think your story can actually be an encouragement to other people?
Yeah, I would hope that they would come to me with any kind of problems they have, and it doesn't have to be in the chat. You can always whisper it to me, or you can send me a private message on Discord even. Like I'm always happy to listen. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but if nothing else, I'm a decent listener. But yeah, if y'all are going through something, isolating yourself is not the way to go. It is. I've been there, and it's not fun. Sometimes you need to, though, but it's always worth trying again. And like, even if you've tried opening up about it and sharing with people, or even just kind of talking about depression in general, like you don't even have to talk about it in regards to yourself. it can be like you can have a bad experience and somebody can shut you down or sort of brush over it because it is an uncomfortable topic, and it's always, always, always worth another try because you never know. You never know what is going to come from a conversation. You never know how a person's going to react to meeting you or hearing your story. And I've found, like, I talk to a lot of people at my job. There are way more nice people out there than there are jerks. But there are jerks.
Right. Dude, you're gonna make me tear up. I'm not gonna lie. This.
Man, don't tear up.
It's intense, and I just have to say thank you. I did not see this going here at all, and I'm not gonna lie. We've watched you quite a bit. We've watched you, and you're a happy-go-lucky guy. No one. Honestly, no one sees the garbage when they see you in face. It's when you're alone, and the garbage comes when you're alone.
Yeah. You can pretend that being alone is what you need, but sometimes it is, but it is not what you need all the time. That is for sure. And like being happy on stream, that's not that's not an act. I never put on an act. Like, you could probably go back. It was May 25th. You can go back to that VOD and you can see I was actually pissed. We were playing Dark Souls and I was just having a rough day, and I was grumpy about it. That's all there is to it. I don't like to stream while I'm upset or grumpy about something, but it seems like no matter what, if I go in a stream and I play something that I enjoy and have a good time, it brings people in and they seem to have a good time. I'm not going to speak for my viewers, but they'll hang around and chat for a while and we'll have a few laughs and I'll feel better, and I got to at least try to put a smile on somebody's face, and I feel like I do a decent job of making people laugh. I have no way to tell because it's just text on my end.
Well, thanks. I guess everyone check out the May 25th. You said?
Oh no! Don't do that. No.
Well, I want to see an angry Sneaky, because I didn't know you then, so I got to check that out myself.
It's the Dark Souls stream.
Dark Souls, was there a Light Souls? I'm kidding. What's been one of your most favorite, happiest memory in your Twitch so far?
Twitch so far. I've had a bunch, man. Probably one of the coolest moments is when I got my two regulars, Rockets and Ferrum Tusk. I got them on board as my moderators like that day. That was awesome. Because that was, or at least it seemed to me to be a huge stepping point, or like stepping stone. Like, going from doing this thing just by myself, like I didn't have a chat bot, I just had myself, a camera, and some games, and it was great. But when Rocket started frequenting my stream and when Ferrum Tusk started frequenting my stream, I had these two guys that I could just like kind of rely on to be there. And like we all got to know each other, and they asked if they could be mods, and I was like, shoot, yeah, y'all can be mods. I would love that. And I got them signed up, and honestly, they really do push me to make my stream more fun and better. They encouraged me to get a chat bot, and um, they're all the time asking like, can we make improvements here or there, or what if we changed this setting or that? And it's just it's awesome having these two guys that I can rely on. Like they're very, very reliable people, and I'm very thankful for them.
That's cool to have people like that, because I've heard of a lot of moderators. Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure the chat's going well, and that's all they do. But when you can find loyal fans that are turned into moderators, but then actually push you to do better, that's like better than gold.
Yeah, it is. It is. Absolutely.
So, I think we can slowly wrap up some of this, unless you have other things you want to say. But you had a lot of key information, and I just want to make sure. Do you have any other advice for people in the future? Other streamers that want to stream, or just whatever. Do you have any advice for people?
Yeah, I'll tell you my number one rule is just have fun. If you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. And that's a really important thing to me, because like coming off of losing my job, that's sort of where this rule came from. Like I don't want to pretend to have fun doing this. Like if I one day wake up and really take a good long look at at like what I'm doing and decide that for some reason or another I'm not having fun, I need to make a change. Like am I playing this game because it gets more viewers, or because I truly enjoy it more? Like that kind of stuff. You just are, at least I, in the past, I've had to think about that before. Like there are games where I'm not as into, but they have a good viewership, and that's really fun in its own sense, because you've got a bunch of people interacting in the chat, and it's exciting and it's fast paced, and that's fun. But if you're not enjoying the game, or you're sort of just going through the motions, you gotta step back and take a look and say, how can I change that? Like, why am I not having as much fun as I can? Like, I don't want to treat this like a job. Like, I don't want to go on and go, oh, it's time to start streaming, because that's
Right.
that's a sure sign that there's something wrong. And it doesn't even have to be with streaming, mind you. Like there's always more of the story than just what you're looking at. But that's been the thing that's kept me going the longest, and I think that's why I've had the success that I have. It feels weird to say that, because I just I don't know. It's just like I haven't said that out loud before, but I like from going to starting. What's that, like 8 months ago or so to where I am now, is I feel like that's insane. But I think having fun and just smiling genuinely and laughing genuinely on stream is that's something that people like to see, and something that people want to be around. And my other thing is consistency. That's rule number 2. It's not nearly as important, but it's still super important. If you can't start streaming at the same time every day, or if you can't stream every day, then the days that you stream, you gotta start on the dot. If you can stream every day, I found that it's a little more flexible, but still, you should try to keep your word. And I'm not the best about it, but when you do keep to your schedule, it seems it seems like you can count on repeat viewers and visitors, at least from what little data I have about it. Yeah, them's my two rules.
No, thank you, thank you. I think that's good for everyone to hear because a lot of people can say, "Yeah, I just stream whenever." Well, no, it should be scheduled, like you said. Um,
I mean that in a certain sense is okay. Like if that's what your channel is, then you do you. Like I'm not the guru here. I like that might work just as well, but this is my personal experience.
Now, just to kind of wrap up everything, when you got depressed, you got fired, you got depressed, then you started up streaming and all these things. Now you're here and things have been kind of going kind of fast speeds, and now you're going to go to school to kind of do a dream job and you're going to get trained up. Has there now been kind of a life motto or a sentence that you always tell yourself for other viewers to get inspired by?
Oh, like a mantra.
Yeah, if you have one. If not, then that's totally fine.
I don't think I have just one, but maybe a few of the ones that I frequent are I can do this. I can frickin' do this. Just like when I'm feeling like hesitant about something that I have to do, like I don't want to go work at Home Depot every day or whatever. But I do know that some of the things that I'm getting out of that experience, like, the ability to pay my bills and genuine human interaction, those are great. And I do need those. So, like, even when it's hard, I just, like, kind of grit my teeth and bear it and just say, I can freaking do this. It's just until August, or it's just until something. And that's the important thing. You got to have something. Like, if you're in a situation that you don't like, I know that it's not always possible to just go back to school, but if you've got a dream that you want to go for, try to set a goal. Like, try to work towards it. If you want to be a photographer, like, take a picture once a week, or go take pictures once a week. Or my goal that I'm setting for myself come August, when I have access to a machine shop, is to make one prop every month. That's going to be my goal. Just like, it doesn't have to be anything real big. Just say I can do this until I can take that next step. Because giving up, as good as it may feel, it doesn't get you anywhere. So I can freaking do this. And one of my favorite quotes of all time from my high school shop teacher, Talmadge Marvelous Butler. Treat others the way you want to be treated. But remember, there's always some jerk who will come out and stab you. It's kind of goofy, but the longer I've been around, the more it's true. When you approach somebody, a stranger, or even a friend, like, if you approach them with friendly intent and like a big old smile and a hug or handshake or whatever, and you just treat them with kindness and you treat them like the way that you want people to treat you, you'll get that back from all different places, like even places you don't expect. But there are jerks out there, so don't ever let your guard all the way down. I mean, it's okay to do it once in a while, but don't expect everybody to be on board with the way that you want to be treated.
Sneaky, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of got a little sneaky and crawled up on here and started doing all these wisdom words and sentences. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to stop this because I'm just getting inspired, and when I hear you, I'm like, all right, I can keep on doing this. I can keep on doing this, and I really do hope that when your viewers hear this, they'll be like, dang, I'm going through it, but if Sneaky can do it, I can do it.
I hope so, because y'all can freaking do it. Y'all can freaking do it.
But seriously though, it's been some time now, and hopefully we'll get another chance to do another interview one day. I just want to say thank you, and it was an honor to interview you, and I hope we can do this again soon, one day. But
Yeah.
seriously,
Hope
thank
so,
you.
dude. Yeah, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed this. This is a good time.
Well, with that said, Sneaky, game on, and I'm signing out.
All right, bye everybody.